Welcome to the May Race edition of Bolton in, all thanks to our friendly team at Palmerbet. Greggy Eyes Kelson joining us as well in the form seat. Eyes, massive week upon us, mate. Can't wait. Looking forward to it. The town is abuzz.
Oh, it certainly is, Matty. Well, it has been for a while, I think, and not many sleeps now, Matt.
No, not many sleeps now, mate. That is for sure. And, well, Simon Wild, Tommy Davennig and Lindsay Smith. Have a look at the three amigos and the big guns. Don't worry about that as we head into a May Racing Carnival. Simon Wild, we'll start with you, mate. Are you looking forward to the week, big fella?
Yeah, looking forward to it, Matty. It's always a great week down here, and it's a long week, but it's a lot of fun. Can't wait.
No, absolutely, mate. Tommy Davennig, how important is it to get some winners on your home track, mate? Just from an owner's point of view moving forward.
Oh, yeah, look, it's important. It's a week where a lot of the owners come to Warrnambool, and we got a winner the first year, and then it was a bit of a lonely place last year. We had 6 placings, but no winner. So hopefully I can redeem myself this year.
Hey, and Lindsay, you're a bit of a veteran now at the Bool, mate. How many carnivals for you coming up this year, buddy?
My fifth one.
Fifth one, mate. And what about you? You know, like you've seen racing all around the world as well, Linz. How's the May Racing Carnival stack up?
Yeah, no, it's always competitive. I've said it before. It reminds me of a place at home called Kalgoorlie where it goes for 3 days and there's 3 hard days. And this is not dissimilar. And a lot of drinking involved, a lot of social meetings, and yeah, you got to front up at 4 o'clock the next day, which sometimes you got to borrow a bit of the horse medicine to keep going.
A little bit of the butte, maybe. Hey, listen, let's have a look. We'll start off on the Tuesday too, boys, and he's got plenty of runners. We'll start off Simon Wild. There's a horse, a first starter in race 5, and I'll be keen to get your thoughts. And also, Linz, you'll have a horse in the same, both first starters. Killing Eve, a first starter from Tornado Song. Can you tell us much there, buddy?
Probably a horse that's going to be better next time. We're going to give her a run. Look, she's a nice horse, but she might be one to follow sort of after she comes back from a spell. I think all the other boys have got the 2-year-old races covered. They've been winning trials for months, so we'll just lay low with our 2-year-olds, I think.
And Lindsay, your runner La Vienne certainly trialled really professionally and drawn a gate perhaps just to bounce and take it up. Would that be the plan for you?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, she hasn't been able to trial around a bend. She's had a couple of down back straights, one at Mount Gambier and one at Terrain. So, but she seems to be a natural horse. Blue Points, they seem to show a lot of ability when they're at an early stage. But yeah, so I think they'd be better 3-year-olds. But she's drawn all right, obviously, from the one. She's been in soft conditions and good conditions, so she's a professional horse, and we think that she's going to win a few races.
Lindsay, can I just jump back a race to the Kelly Hotel Maiden, which is race 4? Demora Queen, another one who, as soon as the markets went up, she was pretty well backed, and could probably see why that trial at Terang where she was wide on the course and. Gee, she certainly trialled well. So you're expecting that she's come back maybe even better?
Before that trial the other day, Greg, she was actually a bit awful, I thought. So I kept hammering her. I thought she might have been a bit soft. So until the other day, I was a little bit worried. But whether she beat much or not, I don't know. But the trial before, she was against the stablemate, and the stablemate towed her up quite convincingly. So I was a bit worried, but she seemed to bounce back on the better surface the other day. So I would prefer her on the better side of slow than heavy track. So that's hence I got 2 in the race. So I sort of put 2 in there, one would handle the heavy and one what wouldn't. So just sort of keep my options open there.
Beautiful, mate. Listen, what about Bazzini, the maiden hurdle, Simon? Your thoughts there? You're obviously very, very good at training these jumpers, mate, and educating them.
Yeah, he's been jumping for a while. I think he's ready to head that way now. I wasn't overly impressed with his trial. He just sort of he didn't jump as well as we'd hoped, but we'll probably ride him in behind. He did lead in that trial. We'll ride him in behind. I think he'll be a bit better, and the softer the better for him, really. But yeah, he's he should be some sort of chance. He's a good, strong stayer. He'll love the 2 miles.
And Tom, you can probably calm the nerves with race 1, having a runner, but Matsuka, who's, I suppose it'd be fair to say, hasn't knocked up winning on the flat. How's he taken to the jumping caper?
Not too bad. We've always had jumping in mind with him, and he was a horse that as a 3-year-old showed a little bit of promise, and then he found his level quite quickly. So he can run a trip, and he handles soft conditions. He's schooled quite well, but under no real pressure. So we'll just use it as an educational run and a bit of fitness. And look, I would be surprised if he was winning, but hopefully he'll be able to win a maiden hurdle this season.
And of course, there's a 3rd division of that maiden hurdle, and Freddie the Eagle fronts up Simon. And I don't know, but to my eye, yeah, he just looks like a jumping, like a real good jumping prospect. What are you thinking with him?
Yeah, he's quite a promising jumper. He's done quite well since he's come down from Darwin. He's taken to the jumping caper well. He's a bit novice still. Like, I think ideally another trial would have been perfect. But again, he's one that we might just get a lead on. He seems to be better when he's in behind horses. He didn't jump well under pressure in his last couple of jumps in his last trial, but yeah, he's a bit untapped. He doesn't give you everything, Freddie. So a couple of jumps in front of him might just help him focus. And I think he'd be a really good top 3 chance.
Hey, let's move along to the feature of the day, the Scotty Stewart Briley Steeple. Cracking edition, of course. Stern Idol, the horse to beat. Looks like that is the main aim too over the 3 days of May. Simon Britannicus, so impressive last year, looking for back-to-back victories. I must admit, when the prices went up, I thought this horse was over the odds.
Yeah, he probably is. The drier, the better for him. His one Achilles heel is that he just can't handle wet tracks at all. So, the weather's good at the moment. He schooled well, last week. I was pretty happy with him. So, yeah, I think he's tried and true. Like, he gets around that course really well. He's actually comes into the weights nicely with Stern Idol up the top there. So, yeah, he'll give punters a good run for the money.
One of the real interests for me, Simon, is that he's probably, he likes that leading role, or appears to. He's probably going to be the one that's going to have to maybe get out and do the chasing of Stern Idol. That's at least how it looks on paper. In a way, you're sort of thinking he might be the one that needs to get going and take him up to Stern Idol. What's the plan there? To not land too far off the big fella, or do you just see how it pans out?
Probably see how it pans out. He's got a good turn of foot, so if you could get a cushy run in behind Stern Idol, I think that'd be the ideal scenario, a good tempo. And if he was just sitting off that, obviously you don't want to give him too much work to do and let the other one get away too far. But yeah, he's got for a jumper, he's actually got a really good turn of foot. So we'll be just trying to give him that cushy run.
And then you've got 2 other runners, of course, Tolmac and Count Zero. Possibly, you want wet weather for at least one of those commodities, but they seem to be a good price too for horses that, at their best, have been very competitive.
And you're thinking, Simon, too, as I just chime in, you're thinking like run on Tuesday with those 2 and then back up on Thursday in the annual?
The only one that'll be probably doing that is Count Zero. I think he'll find them a little bit slick in a Briley, but he's definitely a good grand annual prospect. He's another one that just doesn't like the heavy tracks. If it was slow, that'd be fine for him. But he'll back up if he runs well and pulls up well. Tolmac, I thought after last season, Tolmac's an ideal Briley horse, but he's just been struggling a little bit for form this time in. His flat runs weren't great. He was a bit disappointing at Pakenham. He does light up around this course, and he did school beautifully around here, earlier in the season. And he won the Dunrow very impressively here last year. So he really does love the course. And I think I've got him a little bit better. His last gallop, I reckon his action's a lot better. So hopefully, he could be a really good sort of smoky, I reckon, Tolmac.
Hey, Linz, I want to ask you about Queen Air, mate. Yeah, obviously nom for the 1400 and also the 1700 on the Tuesday. Which way are you leaning, mate? Because she's got some ability.
Yeah, I'd rather her go around in the 1400, but she was down a little bit in the order, so she needs to go around. I thought she jumped out the other day quite good, so she's just trying to go back to basics with it because she was over racing last prep and was very disappointing. So we're just trying to correct some of them things, and so if she gets a run on the Thursday, she'll go there.
Hey, Linz, the benchmark 70 Rudyard, I noticed he's also nommed for the Cup. Could it be that if he ran well here, he could back up?
Oh, well, he's been around and has a lot of years and hasn't had much racing, and a lot of the owners have bailed out of him. So I own majority of him. So you know what horse trainers are like; they need the money. So he'll go around on Tuesday, and he's respectable and going to be a chance on the Thursday. Who he would go around. I thought he's quite good at Mornington the other day. He got pratted over that gap and got shunted back to second last. And I thought he worked home okay. And if it does become wet, he's quite good in the wet. So he's a fair chance, that horse.
Hey, Tommy, in race 8 as well, you've got acceptors of both Picaroon and Hasseltoff. I'm not sure whether they both go around here, but
Hasseltoff's been running super without saluting, hasn't he? You know.
And likewise, I wanted to ask you about Picaroon. I mean, is she ready to improve? Like on paper, there's a couple of zeros there, but maybe hasn't been horrible either, Tom.
Yeah, so Picaroon, both her runs this time in have been at 1400, which have been a little bit on the short side for her. And at Bendigo last start, we took her right back from a wide gate, and none of the back markers really came into the race. So up to the 1700, she should be able to sit a little bit closer in the run. And the ground, I think with the way the weather is and the track hopefully being soft, she should be fine in those conditions. Hasseltoff he's got his hoof on the till. He's running well without winning, and it's been a while since he's won, but he's been carrying big weights, and we put him in this so he gets in on the minimum, and he's a fit horse that it certainly wouldn't be a total surprise. So I think they can both run well, but they'd need to sort of pull out, their best performances to be winning.
And fun to point, Simon, I just want to ask you about this horse. You got this horse going sensationally well.
Yeah, he's had a great preparation. He's had a bit of a breakout prep, really. I think he's well placed down in the weights in that race, so it looks pretty strong. So yeah, we might have a look at the 1400-meter race on the last day. But he's working well. He's had a bit of a freshen up. He's had a busy sort of summer campaign. So like he's I think he's 3 or 4 weeks between runs, which is perfect. And he's working well. So yeah, he'll make his presence felt, I think.
And Tommy, in race 10, there's some interesting runners. And Lindsay, you've got a couple of runners as well yourself, but British Angel, Romantic Choice, both last start winners. Kikasui won its last couple, Tommy. All three going to head that way?
Yeah, British Angel is drawn off the track, but we don't really have another option for her. So that's probably not ideal. Kikasui's won her last 2, but finds herself in a much tougher race. And Romantic Choice has drawn well, and she won first up. So, look, I think they're all nice sort of relatively informed horses that have found themselves in a pretty competitive race.
And your runner, Simon, Sasquala, drawn the inside gate. Not sure what that'll be like by race 10, but are you happy with how she's come back?
Yeah, she's come back well. She had a summer campaign and she didn't come up at all. She wasn't really letting down on the firm track. So we decided to pull the pin, and it looks like it was the right move. She's trialling up really well, and she'll have a winter campaign from here, but looks a nice kickoff for her. It's strong enough, but I think she seems to be going well enough to be competitive in that.
And just watch me, Linz. First up is 1 from 1 first up, mate, for Colin and Janice McKenna.
And Lighter Rose too in the market.
Yeah, I'd say Just Watch Me will go to the benchmark 70 on the Wednesday, 1,000 metres. and Mitre Rose won at Warrnambool the first start like a horse would win a midweek race, especially in the wet. And she was awful at Hamilton, but it was the middle of summer. She sort of got a bit of heat stress. Heart rate was 130. Didn't handle it very good at all, so we tipped her straight back out. She's been working good, and she's, it's a bit early to know, but the wetter the better with her. So yeah, the punters will work that out. The wetter it is, the better chance she is.
Hey boys, give us your best bet. I'll start with you, Simon, on the Tuesday.
I don't know. I think we're going to, off what I've seen at the trials, I'll be following the 2-year-olds of Matty, Lindsay, and probably Tom. They're all flying at the moment.
Hey, Matty, can I just skip back, and we'll certainly get the best from Tom as well, but 3 runners in race 9 that you've accepted with Tom, maybe the best of those chances as well.
Probably Calico Jack. He's only reasonably new to our stable, but we ran him first up at Caulfield and he ran a nice third. So he's drawn to get a good run, and we've put the blinkers back on him. So his soft track form's okay too. Never been on heavy, so the conditions should be all right on day one. And he's a horse that probably, hopefully, will be competitive.
What's your best on day one, Tommy?
I'd probably say Calico Jack. Yeah, I'd say he's probably the horse with the most upside. We've got Bonja back in that race, and This Is My Turf, who've both had really good campaigns. This Is My Turf won first up, and we set him for Warrnambool because he's a very good wet tracker, and he's probably not going to get those real wet conditions on the first day. And Bonja back, he has won a couple, and he's a winner here at Warrnambool, so he's not the worst chance either. So we'll try and throw a few numbers at a couple of these races and see if one can bob up.
And Linz, are you with the first starter, mate? Lavien on the first day?
Oh, no, that's a bit unknown. As I said, she hasn't come around the corner. Yeah, a lot of good stake money, so that'll be a hard race. I'll go Horrifying.
Oh, there you go.
We missed Horrifying.
Yeah,
Too.
and is that a horse that could possibly press onto a Warrnambool Cup as well? Lynn's nominated there.
He hasn't had a sort of hard prep, but he done a lot of work in the sand, and he's got he hasn't got the best pegs in the world. So I put him in the Warrnambool Cup just to see how he pulled up on the Tuesday. I don't know how long we'll have him just with his legs. So I thought his couple of trials were very, very good. So, and obviously he's been a good racehorse in his time, maybe a couple of years ago, but he's been sent down to the beach and been waiting for the softer ground. So surely at $26, he's over the odds. If anyone's seen the way he's found the line in his 2 trials, jump outs, yeah, I've been quite impressed with him.
Matty, straight on the app now, the Palmerbet app, Lindsay.
Let's have a look.
$2.30 on him or something. That's what they do.
Hey, listen, let's turn our attention. It's hard because field's not finalised, but Wednesday, Thursday, we'll have a look at the features. Lynn's Tuvalu, Yellow Sam, obviously heading towards the Wangoon. Tuvalu's added another dimension to the race this year, 61.5 kilos. Your thoughts?
Well, there's nowhere else for him to go. He's just obviously undefeated on his home track. He likes juice in the ground. Yes, he's got to carry the weight. He deserves the weight. And I needed one in there to beat Sacred Palace. So it will be handy to sort of win that race with the boys. But, yeah, the horse is going well. He's trialled good the other day. And, we didn't have to go far the backyard just to make sure he's going okay. And then he might get transferred up to Queensland for a little bit.
Yeah, Lindsay, I made the comment to Matty this morning. There looks to be a lot of horses in that on the 54 kilo. You know, I don't know how many of them will front up, but I said to him, I don't know how many jocks can ride at the 54 for Warrnambool. I just thought that might be an issue too if we get a lot of those accept.
Yeah, well, that could be the case, but it's not my worry. My job had a couple of pizzas, so at Central Country.
That's
but Yeah, no, that's the way it is. But as I said, I've got nowhere else to go apart from Adelaide, and a bit gun shy the way he went in Perth. So yeah, bit of giving the ground, and he worked good this morning on the sand at Warrnambool, and he seems to be in good order.
So he's wound up to have a crack. I mean, I'm not. You wouldn't be in a Wongoom if you're not. So that's probably a silly question, but I mean, he'll improve off the run. Lindsay, what are your thoughts? Or you're going there to have a real crack?
Oh no. Most of my horses always go there to win. It's not one of my things to practice. So he's going there as good as I can get him. He's never obviously run over 1,200 metres, but he's kept him on the fresh side. But yeah, he needs to go very, very good to go anywhere else. So he is there to win, and he's not far off his top.
Hey, Tommy, what about Ashford Street, mate? New addition to the stable, heading to the Wongoom. This horse is, we know, he's got a heap of ability. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, he probably won't accept there. He's probably more likely to kick off in a 1,000-metre race on the Saturday, the 4th, after at Caulfield. He possibly could have got to the Wongoom, but he would have needed a run or two before. So we'll give that a miss and head to Caulfield next Saturday.
Will a Dandy Man go there, Tom?
No, he'll probably run in the 70-1400.
Hey, I want to turn our attention to Thursday, boys, because we are running out of time. But Simon, Vanguard, Grand Annual, mate, really interesting runner for mine. Looks like to be jumping really well. Looks fit. Looks cherry ripe. It's going to be a cracking race. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, he's definitely better than he was last year. He did. I thought he ran well last year off a messy preparation. He ran 4th, and he just probably ran out of petrol, with a couple to jump. But it was a really good effort. He's definitely better this year. He's fitter. He's more forward, and he's probably seasoned enough now too. So I think we resisted the temptation to run him in the Briley. I just didn't want anything to go wrong before Thursday. So he's been set for the race. He's in pretty good order, as good as we can get him, and he's a strong stayer, and we're probably. Just his jumping let him down a bit at Ballarat, but we did give him 2 runs in the week there. He ran on the flat earlier in the week, and then, he's in that steeple carrying a lot of weight. So, yeah, look, he's set for the race, and I think he'll run very well.
Hey, boys, we are nearly smack bang out of time, but we really appreciate a nice little insight into May Race Week. As we said, it's always tricky later on in the week, but you've given us a great insight early on, and we must thank you, boys. And look, it is an exciting week for everyone. It's a busy week for you guys, but you get the job done, and you make yourselves available, which is absolutely brilliant.
We do need one from each of the boys for the week, though.
Give it your best, boys.
I know it's difficult, boys, without knowing where you might line up, but is there one for the week that you're particularly looking forward to? Start with you, Tom.
God. I sort of feel like I'm bringing a water pistol to a gunfight with my horses. But I thought Born to Shine on the Wednesday. Obviously, we haven't seen the field yet, but she's in the 1,400-metre maiden, and she's been placed at her last 2 starts, and she sits up on the pace. So she's probably getting close to a win.
Lindsay?
I'll stick with Horrifying.
Beautiful. Simon, quickly.
Probably Bargino.
Bargino, right? There's one to write down. Hey, download the Palmer Bet app. Get involved. It's really simple. They love their May Racing Carnival. But as we always say, gamble responsibly and think about what you're truly gambling with. Ice Carlson, Billy Wild, Simon Wild, Tommy Davenig, and Lindsay Smith.
He'll be in their car somewhere, Simon.
Love you, boys. Have a wonderful week, legends.
Good luck.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.